look at the tires. See, the tires have to be an SP. I know. That's like, see, they got like 3 or 4 of them, and they're cleaning.
But you know, that's just the vehicle maintenance part that we learn on the job. But I've been doing this for 3 years to measure how far away the next one would be, to even it all out. And then over the last 40 years, the grass has slowly grown towards the highway. And even when they die, the roots are still interlocked with each other. So it's the perfect preservation mechanism for these dunes. Of course, they imported it from Afghanistan. They called it American beach grass.
Well, that's good for erosion. Helps keep it from happening or slow it down.
That's what that picture is of.
Oh, I wonder.
Something.
Something. Well, look at that blue sky all of a sudden. Oh my goodness.
I think one of the most amazing things out here is the light. I think it's a reason why all of the artists were attracted to this area. You'll see in just a second that the dunes are a lot bigger than they really appear to be.
Now it looks like we're going into the
So you can see the Atlantic Ocean up over there, and Cape Cod Bay over there.
I think our tour guide said.
Old lighthouses, actually, you can see from. In that body of water there, that's called Pilgrim Lake, or Old East Harbor. And it used to be an open harbor, an open port that could fit over 100 ships. So they fled to Plymouth, and then about 60 years later, the Portuguese, who had been fishing in these waters for centuries, went, wait a minute, that's our good fishing ground. Because a good fisherman never tells where they get the best catch. So the Portuguese actually came here in 1702 and deforested this entire area here. There used to be maple trees, topsoil, oak trees, and now there's pitch pines and scrub oaks left. They
didn't say there'd be a roller coaster.
What goes up? So it's amazing to think that a lot of this landscape has been influenced by man, and that we wouldn't be driving over sand right now if the Portuguese didn't need to build ships and houses out here. Yeah, well, the pitch pine and the scrub oak trees are the trees that are left, and these trees, they don't make a good timber.
No.
They really just are firewood.
I'd be going hungry.
A lot of our berries bloom more towards the end of August and September, but I'll point out all those good berries and the bayberry leaves that smell amazing. Yeah, but for now we're just rolling by all the pines. Like this guy here, all of the sea salt wind is blowing this way, so nothing grows on the other side. But the side facing us is full of pine because it's sheltered, protected. Good thing we only have nor'easters out here.
Oh, really? Does anybody go in there?
Yes.
Oh,
This
really?
is part of this is also a non-profit shack. The original owner, Peg Watson, she actually passed away climbing up to her shack at the age of 93.
She passed away climbing up to it?
Good.
Literally, yeah.
Wow.
She wanted to spend the rest of her life in there and out here into the dunes. And when she passed away, and when Ray Wells passed away, their shack was reclaimed by the government and repurposed into a non-profit. So prior to 19...
You still living?
Yes, he is. His caretaker, Kevin, made this wagon pulley system that pulls up all of their supplies. And their water pump is right there in front of
that
you.
water pump there.
Yeah.
But now, if no vehicles can come in here except for y'all with license, how the heck do they get in here?
So the individual owners,
hire
there's
you?
only 9 of them left. So there's only 9 other vehicles that are permitted other than us. And they're not... Yes, you are allowed to hike through the dunes. You'll see hikers sometimes, or you might hear on the radio, hiker by the old life-saving station, which
need a permit? Do they have to?
No, anyone can come hike out here.
All right.
Which is pretty good. I mean, some people brought graffiti into the,
Yes.
the old station, which used to look like this actually back in the
Wow.
day. It became the Coast Guard station in 1915, but from this tower here, they were able to see all of the shipwrecks that were happening on the coast. Prior to 1906, the Cape Cod Canal, the bridge, wasn't there. In order to get all these single dots as shipwrecks.
Oh.
So we're right here, the Peaked Hills Life Saving Station. That's that dot. And there were 13 others at the time.
Wow.
And there's a sandbar right off of shore that large vessels would get stuck on. And like it wasn't even that far off of shore.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see this like rusted structure here.
With the graffiti.
That used to be a tower called the Breeches Buoy. It was a pair of breeches or a pair of pants attached to a buoy. They would zip line the hull of a ship and send down a pair of pants. And one by one, the men would get inside of the pants and they would haul them back up to shore on a zip line.
Wow.
That's how they did it.
Oh, pick up the
It
pieces.
works.
Pants.
Yeah.
Now kids pay to do that.
If it worked, it worked.
Now at nighttime, you don't have hikers out here at nighttime, do you?
No, see, camping is prohibited. Although maybe back in high school, you know, I took a sleeping bag and did some
Well, yeah.
stargazing, you know. Had to have some fun in the winter time when there's no one here. But it's actually very pleasant to hike in the dune in the off season as well, when it's say 55 degrees, 60 degrees, and cool. Don't have to worry about
in the valley. I'm approaching the end hill as well.
So
I'm
it's sort of
waiting
like
for
a
the
hiking
second
trail
line.
where it loops.
Gina's the last one coming through the enchanted forest. Although there's poison ivy everywhere, so it's not that magical.
Mm. Well, I wasn't planning
Yeah,
on
this is
leaving.
like a glimpse of what it looked like before the Portuguese got their hands on the trees here. If you can imagine more maples and oaks around.
So they're the one who've been doing all the chopping on these trees?
Now you'll find this whole valley area is really just full of pitch pine. Some more Rosa Rugosa. If you ever
Yeah.
get lost, actually, there's the center of town.
Pilgrim's Path.
Drivers.
Wow.
And then last year we had 10.
Oh.
This year we're climbing back up to about 20 or so, but it's still
Why don't you, as a group, all
fascinating.
come through towards the cranberry bog? Okay, I don't see him back.
So how did he get up? Did somebody drop him off?
Does he live out here?
I'm sorry?
How did your owner get up there? Did somebody drop him off?
Yes. He's training somebody today. They were actually the very first ones up. You know, getting up this hill, you need a little bit of maneuvering. Get you up there nice and smooth.
Yes, it does. Get up that hill.
And we're happy for the first time.
Oh, really?
It's a certain area in the hill with all that snow and ice, and I had an SUV.
Give it some gas, honey. Give it some gas. How you doing?
He's on YouTube.
Happy to see you.
Awesome.
I don't mind going down. There's nothing to hit into.
Snow. Oh my gosh. And then, you know, I should have stayed at work that night. I was supposed to stay at work. And I didn't stay. I said, I want to go home. If I'm going to get snowed in, I want to get snowed in at home. So I took my chance to get out there. And I kept getting stuck.
Imagine this place covered in snow. Ever heard of the bayberry candle?
Mm-hmm.
Here,
Oh, she cut us.
everyone can take a leaf. And if you break it or rub it and give it a smell, it'll smell the famous bayberry candle scent. And that's the, would you like, I throw it in my mask to make it smell better sometimes. But it's,
Oh, wow.
it's a wonderful plant. So we actually don't eat them.
That's nice.
We melt them down into candles. Kind of a waxy berry. You see hundreds of swallows attacking these little bayberry bushes. Usually I'd see a red-tailed hawk people
Probably dig some holes somewhere.
and that there is a cranberry bog nearby. So all this low reddish greenish shrub are cranberries.
Oh.
I know. All those Ocean Spring commercials were lying. You see that puddle right there?
Yeah.
So that's an aquifer puddle. That's here 365 days a year. It's at sea level.
Really?
It freezes in the wintertime.
So that doesn't, all this hotness doesn't dry that up?
Never.
Wow.
I've been driving here for 3 years and these puddles have never not been here.
Well, that's good for the animals.
Exactly. And the plants.
So if you're hanging around here, whatever, you'll see somebody come to drink.
If you get desperate enough,
I'll come to
or if you
drink.
didn't bring enough water with you.
Yeah. I'll be down there drinking too.
Well, that's how the cranberries stay so moisturized, is because they're sitting right on top of sea level. And that's where a lot of we have a lot of
hello.
wild
Yeah, I was like, is it
coming through the cranberry bog?
say that?
Yes, I am. Steve, I can back up.
I thought everybody was through.
No, it's okay.
So you pull up all the way to the top next to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're having an adventure.
But hey, at least we're not stuck up on half of a hill.
Yeah, no, that's
Nope.
good. That's good.
Yeah, this is good. But if I was at the wheel, I'd be rolling down Here we go.
Serves as a watering hole. Yeah, so there's this parking lot that kind of keeps going over there and leads to a dune shack that's owned by the Malicote family. And I say it like that because they're fancy pantses. They're the only ones out of all of the dune shack owners that bought their property in 1940. They're the only ones that can pass that down to their children. So that remains a shack that isn't affected by the National Historical Society like the other 18 shacks. So they have a nice new brick fireplace and solar panels and a little shower on the roof. The chimney.
Oh, yeah.
So that extension, they just put that on like a few years ago. And that's the Malicote
So
shack.
in order to get to
They
there,
Dunaway out to this very spot here to film parts of the Thomas Crown Affair.
oh
If
really?
you've seen that, the original one, yes.
I didn't see the original one, but
Well, the original one with Faye Dunaway was filmed right here, in this kind of open valley area. And that shack that we see in the distance is called the Shack.
Is that the name of your shit?
And this is where Tennessee Williams stayed as he finished writing a streetcar named Desire. There's even a urban legend that Marlon Brando hiked out here to audition for his role in the movie. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. No one knows if that's true. But at the time.
at that time, that was a man's world.
Exactly. It wasn't common for a
They were
woman
all
to
owned
own
by
an
women.
18 property. But because they technically just owned the shack and not an actual property, it was deemed more acceptable. But by the time the 1950s and 60s rolled around, P-Town had become such an artist hippie colony that there was no judgment for owning a precious, amazing, unique dune shack. People were rather jealous.
Look at this.
Each other, they're like each one is so the same. But as more and more grow, the air gets cooler, more moisture is in, more soil can
standing on top of the hill, and he let us out. Our feet are getting all sandy. And he let us out so we can all see. These are all of our trucks we're gonna take back down. And then we all can see like this whole area from the top.
I have a friend who is a lifeguard, and she's also a molecular engineer at my
Windy knows here.
on duty.
The water is like there.
So she came up with the idea of building a wetsuit that sends out electromagnetic waves.
So she said, we're waiting because we're about to drive down there. You should see the size of this hill. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what we're about to do. This is crazy.
So, you know how I said
That was not that far down.
it's cold and wet?
Oh, so there's like water underneath
So
there.
if I get stuck out here, I just have to burrow under the sand until the sun
We
goes
just need to
down.
dig in.
You are a genius.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trust me.
And we're like 100 feet up right now.
Digging on there.
So if we were down there at sea level and we did that, water kind of blows my
So we're
mind.
about 100 feet up
Yeah,
and
we're
there's
all
like
set.
water underneath here. Just hanging out because we're the last truck to go down.
Was Steve in front of you?
Oh my God, you should see this hill. Looks like a roller coaster. Ooh, party just getting started. This is crazy. Okay, so I guess we're just right here. Where she go? Oh, she's over there. Look. Behind you. Look, the trucks are gonna go down. We're about to go down that next. Wow. Check them out. Oh my God. I'll be so scared when I gotta go down this thing. I can't really try to stand up. Look at this. We're so high up. We gotta get in.
Yeah.
And you know, Portugal is about 3,000 miles that way.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's
That's
close
how
to
they just went straight across over here.
Did you have to grab that stick as you go?
No, I just wanted to put that there for Steve because he was like, it's his first day on the job.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was nervous about making sure he was in the trail.
I could understand that.
But I told you, I've been one of the veteran drivers.
I would have been nervous coming down what you just came down. Going up what you can go. I don't like heights.
I'm terrified.
I'm okay if I'm closed in.
But what
coming
goes
down.
up?
Come down. Oh,
yeah.
I had to come down.
Can't come back through it.
I would have got my ass tore up from being up there.
Turn into soil. So all of this lichen, this is this like light green shrub you see, and that grows out of decomposing plant material. And you can even see like 3, 4 inches, maybe even 5 inches over here
Oh, yeah.
of topsoil before you reach the sand. And I don't know how long that's been growing. I want to say maybe 20, 30 years.
You don't get a whole lot of rain, like all the time. To make
Propane stove or a propane refrigerator, like some of these shacks do.
this one up there.
That's the thalassa. But do you see the box on the roof? That is a rainwater basin that fills up with water, heats up during the day, and is a hot shower at night.
Oh,
So it's one of the most rustic shacks out here, but it has a hygiene mechanism.
You know, we always need that hygiene. So.
Make it make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So why are they? They just
Yeah.
decoration? Okay. Alright.
Literally, yeah, they're decoration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly what they're for.
There's many bird houses on this shack because the original owner, Lawrence Schuster, would put an Adirondack chair on the roof and bird watch. Now, Kevin prefers to listen to music and sit on the roof, but he likes to keep up the old traditions and keep that spirit alive. Drops them off at the but they do not pick them up, bring them back to town, say if they need to, refill their wine or their food. They have to go back to town and get it themselves.
Well, they don't have no transport.
They hike.
What?
Yeah.
They walk.
They walk.
They must be young people then.
Yeah, really, you never know.
I don't know. I'd call Gina.
Look.
There's a red, yeah.
What?
Vulture.
Vulture?
On the wing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Redhead, it's a turkey vulture.
Turkey
Yeah.
vulture.
There
It's
he is.
flying?
Yep.
So what he out here looking for?
If he's on the wing like that, there might be something dead laying
The
around.
dude mice aren't scurrying around, but that's typically
Yeah.
what they will eat. And things like chipmunks and maybe squirrels that and carry it with them to their nest. I've seen them bathing actually in the little puddles that we have out here.
I don't want to say rescue somebody, but find somebody in need and like, hey yo, we need something here.
Sometimes if I see hikers and they look like they're like really sweating and in pain, I'll be like, hey, you know where you're going? And if they say yes, I'll be like, okay, do you need any water? Because I have a couple water bottles in the back. And I've run into people who brought real water. These people probably thought the beach was a hop, a jump, and a skip away. When really it's a sprint, a run, and a 1.4 miles from the road.
Still be what even it's going to be.
And it's gonna feel like 5 to 10 miles walking in this sand.
Yeah.
Before we developed it. So it's nice that they have preserved some, and hopefully it will stay that way indefinitely. But it's still going to be there for us to enjoy this afternoon. So we're going to spend some time there, God willing.